So what I'm going to try and explain today is how to wire in a relay. Now, with a 5-pin relay, which hopefully I can show you, this is something that we will use to power an accessory. So in this case, I need to fit an auxiliary light to a Volkswagen T6 van. Now, normally you will be able to do this quite simply, but annoyingly the Volkswagen T6 van, the one I have, has a CAN bus system. So I'm also going to show you how to wire in it's a Canalyzer. So basically it's a little device that checks when we switch the high beam on. Normally, if you are going to wire in a relay like this, you'll have a wiring loom like this. And I'm going to explain to you what the different wires do. Normally they're 5-pin. And I'm going to try and show you with a little camera what the pins do. So we're only going to use 4, and they're always numbered the same. So if you do have one of these with 5 pins, it's very simple to remove the wire you don't want. There has a little tab on the back here, and if you get a little tool, one that I made earlier, basically it's a little flat blade screwdriver. This is going to be the world's most edited video, so hopefully Michael can smooth all of this out. It's very simple. So all you need to do is put your little tool down there. You can see there is a little point there. If you just push that in, you can then pull the wire out. So if you don't need it, it's just much neater to have that out. So that's how I do that. As ever with any video or any situation, it's always better with a cup of tea. Always take your time when you're wiring. So here is one that I have done earlier. So this is a Borman number plate light that I want to put on the T6 van. Now, what you can't do, or what you shouldn't do, it's not good practice at all, is basically just wire this from the switch or from the wires in the car. If you've got a headlight wire that's coming off and you've got the positive wire, it's basically a low amp switched wire. You'll basically burn out your wiring loom. The point to a relay is that it connects using a switch, so a signal, it connects the high power. And it's very, very simple. It seems more scary than it is. So basically, you have a positive feed in. This is pin 30. So this is where you connect to, usually, your car battery. So you will connect this, and I'll go and show you on the T6 van in a minute where I'm going to connect that on a T6 van. I want then, pick my pen back up as a pointer. I want this power here going to the relay. And this, pin 86, this is your switch. So in this case, because I'm having to use a Canalyzer, there's an output on the Canalyzer unit. This is what tells the relay to switch this power to pin 87. So this is power in. This is telling it then to send the power out. So pin 87 is what you connect to your lamp. So then this low input wire, this not powerful positive signal, connects the high power together, and pin 85 is your earth, so your negative. This is what we would call a fabricable at the minute, because I was making sure it worked. So you can see here, this is my power in, this connects to the battery. This white one is switched live. Blue one is power out, so that is connecting to the positive of my light. And then the black here, which is pin 85, is the earth. So I've also connected that to the negative of my accessory, but also it needs its own earth, so you may need to make a Y piece. This may look daunting, but it will become a lot more clear when I connect it to the vehicle. So that's what we're doing there. That's how we wire this in. And the point to that then is to protect the wiring on the vehicle. So if you were to do this and you'd identified on the back of your headlight, if you've got an older car, the back of your headlight you can see with a multimeter when you put the main beam on, if you want it on main beam, that it goes live. You simply connect pin 86 from your relay to that, and then wire it as per there, and your light will illuminate. So hopefully I've not made this too confusing. I'm going to show you on the vehicle because the T6 van is quite difficult. I've had to identify which wires are which for the CAN bus on the back of the headlight, and I'll then show you how I wire this in, and hopefully it becomes very clear and helps somebody out. If you do have any questions, please leave a comment and we will try to answer them. And if you want to see a little bit more, give us a like and a subscribe. So we're now outside, and I'm going to use the little camera. I'm hoping that this doesn't make this too jumpy. So, and also that I don't upset the camera. Here we have our auxiliary light, and eventually I will mount this and the number plate goes back in. That's where that's going. But the difficult bit here is the wiring. So I have this, which is a laser Canalyzer. Modern vehicles like this T6 van, they actually have a CAN bus system. You'll have seen that in the video from the Amarok, where they actually torque down the wires, so they've got a twisted pair. So what we're going to do then is we're going to find when the high beam comes on, because there isn't actually a wire that goes live on the back of the headlight. On an older car there will be, but on this T6 van with LED lights there's not. So we need to speak the car's code basically, and that's what the Canalyzer system will do. So we have to set it up first, we have to wire it into the vehicle. So what I've done is I've connected the positive to the battery there, and I've connected the negative to a good ground point there. That then powered this system up, so I could then go in with the app, and I now need to set it up, but it needs to be able to see the vehicle. So I removed the headlight plug, which you can see here underneath. There is a little tab that you press. I then very carefully pared back the wiring. Be very careful. So I did this to expose the twisted pair, which in the case of what we need here, the CAN high is green with white and the CAN low is white with yellow. So this little device here, I didn't want to cut my wiring loom, so I paid extra for the contact part rather than wiring in. You could just pair this back and solder it in and save yourself 30 quid, but I didn't want to risk my wiring loom. So that then allows me to download the specific bits and pieces. So I need to reconnect that, and basically I will then need to tell it with the app which car it's connected to and what it's looking for. So these 4 wires here, these are the outputs. So I could have fog lights turn something on, low beam turn something on, main beam turn something on, or reverse lights, for example. I've actually got 4 configurable outputs on here in the app. And this, we very simply connect to the switch. So this is the switched input. These are only 1 amp, you see. So what that then does is the 1 amp output connects the relay power. So in this case, I need to connect, I'm going to put a terminal and do this nicely, positive. I need to connect the negative, which I will also put in this same place there. And then I run the relay output to the lamp. And this also needs to be earthed. I'm going to put all of this over there neatly. And that's it really. It seems very daunting. Oops, seems very daunting, but it's not. Once you come back to it like that, basically you just need to find the switched input from the vehicle, which I've just shown you how to do, and connect plus 12 volts earth, and then send that down to the accessory. So I hope this helps somebody. And again, like I say, if you've got any questions, please just drop us a comment and we'll always do our best to try and help you out. I will probably do a video on negative earthed vehicles, Suzuki's, things like Jimneys, the older Jimneys and the Vitaras. The back of their headlight, they actually switch the earth on and off, and you very simply just flip around. Instead of having a positive switch, you do a negative switch. But if anyone specifically needs that, let me know and I will find someone with a vehicle and we will do a video. Thanks for watching, and please feel free to give us a like or subscribe, and hopefully the editing team can make something useful out of this, because it's a little bit live on the vehicle, so there's a bit of bouncing around. I've tried not to move too much to make you all dizzy and not get attacked by Louis the dog, who's not very helpful at wiring, but very cute. So little update with where I'm up to with the wiring of the auxiliary lights for the T6. So I've had a little bit of a battle. I'm going to try and show you what I've done. So this is the wiring loom which comes with the Borman number plate light, so that's going to plug into there. Now I want that to run along behind the number plate there, and I also need to get it up here to the battery. So I put the torch in here through there. That meant that when I looked down, you can see the light. So that meant then I knew that if I could see the light, that I could get something through. So I then put the kebab skewer through. I could see the kebab skewer, but I couldn't get my hand down to put. What I like to do is connect the wire with a bit of tape. So in the end, I started from the bottom with this thin wire. It's actually a galvanized wire for chicken fences, which was my job yesterday. I managed to weasel that through, get my hand on it, and then that then meant that I could do this contraption here and then pull that wire back through. So now this was my little bit just to check it was working. So I've got a little bit of connections to do now. This red wire needs connecting to the blue one, which is my output. The black one needs put into an earth, which I shall just put on the side there. I've already put the relay neatly here with a fir tree clip. I don't know if you can see, it's going a bit dark. I might have to abort the mission for tonight. There, so the relay, I just put in a nice fir tree clip in an existing hole. There's a couple of little holes in here. I don't know if you can see there, little holes. So I need to do that and mount the Canalyzer. So basically I'm down to about 3 wires to connect, and theoretically it will work. So fingers crossed, and the next update is not me showing you how to use a fire extinguisher. But well, it's been known.